Hello, traders, and welcome to a new episode of Beyond the Charts. We're diving into the key releases from October 22nd to 24th because basically the 20th and the 21st of October we had nothing of high impact. But first, let's talk about the ongoing US government shutdown now in its day 24 since October 1st, 2025. It is still grinding on with no resolution in sight. The Senate adjourned without a deal over funding fights, borders and spending. This has delayed federal data like the jobs reports, adding fog to Fed bets. We're talking about um, the the 29th of October interest rate decision, but markets are now pricing in almost like 100% a chance of a rate cut on October 29th. We saw a huge drop in gold. We haven't seen anything like this in a decade. It was the biggest drop in a single day in over a decade. We're going to address that in a bit. Um, but today, we're talking like at the end of the week. Uh, on Friday, we saw a cooler than expected CPI, which actually gave the market some momentum to go up against the US dollar. So let's get to it. Let's start with the weekly high impact news calendar and see what happened from October 22nd to October 24th. Okay, so we start with Wednesday because, as I told you, we had nothing on October 20th and October 21st. We had the UK CPI. The previous reading was at 3.8%, the forecast was at 4%, and the actual came in lower than expected at 3.8%. So what does that mean? It means it's slightly cooler than expected. So this was a downside surprise to the inflation in the UK. It shows that inflation is easing. We saw energy dip, but food remained steady, giving Bank of England more room for cuts without overheating fears. Now, how did that impact the market? In terms of stocks, the FTSE 100 gained 0.3% on easing vibes, and there was a small US spillover we saw the S&P going up 0.1%, but that's nothing to mention. And also gold went up slightly 0.2%, but that's not a big deal because we saw a major take profits or profit taking on gold in the past week. Um, right after it reached a fresh all-time high of 4,381, very close to 4,400. And then it started just selling off like crazy because of profit taking, and there was some rumors about China's central bank selling some of the gold they've been accumulating for the past, I don't know, like 2 years. So this ignited the sell-off, and we saw especially the retail traders panic selling gold, and it reached like it dropped like 5.7% in one day, which was the biggest drop in gold in a single day for the past decade. But we saw it like on Friday gaining some ground. The 4,000 level was solid. It tried to break it. It couldn't. Once and twice it couldn't. Then it started to get rejected from that level, and we saw it climb higher on Friday. So that's for gold. Now, FX majors, the GBP USD after the UK CPI, um, obviously it was supposed to lose like a little bit of value, but it actually gained 0.2%. And Euro USD stayed flat while USD JPY lost 0.1% on this release. And then on that same day, we had the crude oil inventories from the US. The previous reading was at 3.524. The forecast was lower, which was 2.2. And the actual actually came at a shortage of 0.961. So what does that mean? It means a big drawdown surprise in the inventory, which means that demand is getting stronger or the supply is getting tighter, one or the other. Um, it's bullish for oil, and we saw the oil gain a little bit of momentum after this release. Um, Energy stocks went up 0.7%, the Dow gained 0.4%, and the gold lost 0.3% as oil inflation nudge. Okay, so the USD also gained 0.3% on this after this release, but I think it's irrelevant. Now I think it's time to move to Thursday. Okay, Thursday we had only one number, which was the existing home sales. The previous reading was at 4 million, the forecast was 4.06 million, and the actual came in line with expectations at 4.06 million as well. So, what does that mean? It means spot on match. Sales are steady despite high rates, with inventory up slightly. Housing is still holding amid affordability strains and shutdown uncertainty. That's what it means. Now, the home builders stocks went up 0.4%, the S&P gained 0.2%, and the gold stayed neutral, while FX majors, mainly talking about the USD, remained flat, and the majors also remained unchanged, nothing much. But now, going to the big day, which was Friday, Friday, October 24th, was a big day. We had the CPI, the core CPI, we had the headline and the core, and we had the monthly numbers and the yearly numbers. So as you can see, the core CPI month on month or month over month, the previous reading was 0.3%, the forecast was 0.3%, but the actual came in lower than expectations and even lower than the previous, which means inflation is cooling. While the headline month over month also came in lower than expected at 0.3%, while the expectations were 0.4%, and the previous was also 0.4%. So this also means that even the headline, not only the core CPI, is cooling. And just to remind you one more time, I keep repeating this every episode, but no harm in repeating. The core CPI is basically the headline CPI minus food and energy. Okay, so because those two are the most volatile components of the CPI. That's why they have the core CPI number and they have the CPI number. Anyway, uh, we had also the year over year number, which was the previous reading was 2.9%, and the forecast was 3.1%, while the actual came lower than expectations at 3%. This gave the market a boost, and of course, it harmed the USD, but everything else took a breather after a hard week, especially gold, silver, and stocks, which started hitting new all-time highs the minute those numbers got released. And I think the thirst the market had for data was one of the main reasons why the reaction was so aggressive after the CPI print. So that's for CPI, and let's see what else did we have. We had the S&P Global Manufacturing PMI and the S&P Global Services PMI. So those numbers, the PMI numbers, as I told you in many previous episodes, as long as we're above 50, then we're expanding. Below 50, we're contracting. So the previous reading was 52. The forecast was a slight drop, but the actual came in actually higher than both. It came higher than the forecast and higher than the previous number at 52.2. This was positive, but not positive enough to like reverse the move that the CPI caused. And we had the services PMI, which was a very impressive number at 55.2 in comparison with a 53.5 point expectation. or forecast. So uh, it was like a good reading. It was a positive reading, but not positive enough, as I said, in comparison with the CPI effect on the US dollar and the rest of the markets. Now, after those numbers got released, the global manufacturing PMI and the global services PMI, which were released at the exact same time, we saw the Nasdaq going up 0.5%, the gold remained flat, and the maybe it lost like a little bit and then gained back its momentum, and the USD remained steady. Anyway, this is it, I think, for the week. Nothing much. We are still in the shutdown. We still have a lot of data that is not released, but finally we got a CPI. This was like a breakthrough for the markets this week to have CPI finally. Um, let's see if they get to a solution by next week or the week after, and we get the government to reopen so that we get more data to discuss. But the big picture remains that the shutdowns data are delayed. The CPI drop was a bright spot amid voids, met by a dovish CPI, like it cools all the misses that were across during the whole week. Uh, Eyes on the Fed on Wednesday. This Wednesday we have on October 29th. We have the interest rate decision and we have the press conference of Jerome Powell. So it's like almost a guarantee that they will cut 25 basis points on this meeting. But the eyes and the focus remains on the press conference of Jerome Powell, because during this speech, he will drop hints about the future of interest rates, and we will see how let's say the blackout of data affected him and the Fed's decisions. But I believe that we will see huge volatility on Wednesday. So as always, trade responsibly and make sure to use stop losses and make sure to plan your trades and manage risk properly. I hope to see you on the next one. Take care of yourselves. And if you have any questions, you know where to find me. Any questions, drop them in the comment section below. Share this with your friends. And I hope you win one of the giveaways we're giving away this week. Take care of yourselves. Bye bye.